If there is one very important thing that men of today lack, it's having boundaries. I know, we all want it to be liked by everyone, right? We all hate to face rejections, we all don't want to feel lonely, and we all just love having people around us and giving us all the attention we crave. So that's why we are so eager to compromise our integrity and ethics and stoop down to a low level to lick people's asses just because we are unable to handle and accept incompatibility and differences. Well, that is nothing but just being plain stupid. First of all, no matter how much you try to get everyone to like you, you will still have those who don't, so your expectations will inevitably fail you. Second of all, the only thing that you get from trying to get everyone to like you is either being taken for granted or being used as a doormat for those people whom you're trying so hard to please. And that is not to say that these people are bad people. It is you who is too available, vulnerable, and disreputable to the point where you are willing to be tossed around like a garbage bag. People prey on the weak. If they see someone who is vulnerable and available, they will exploit them with very little consideration or hesitation. Having no boundaries means that you are willing to do whatever people tell you to do, even if they oppose your principles or ethics, agree to everything that they say even though you secretly have different opinions, and take whatever they throw at you lightly even if it is a spit in the face. Do any of you gentlemen ever vaguely become this sort of chap at least once in your life? Of course you do. I certainly did. Having boundaries is all about being able to say the word no, nada, not on your Nelly, mate. And most men find it very hard today just to say that particular word. Being insecure is one thing, being a complete coward is another. When you're insecure, at least you still have some degree of control. But when you're a coward, you are voluntarily submitting yourself to your circumstances. It always baffles me that people can't simply refuse because they seemingly value people's perception of them instead of their own quality of life. And then they complain of being mistreated and calling the world unfair, while the reality is that it is their own ignorance and lack of knowledge of how the world works that cause them to be mistreated. A lot of men are asking, so how can I bring myself to say no to people? Now, of course, I'm not going to say like what other people have said a million times before, like an army drill sergeant. Just say the word, bitch. No, I'm not like that. My answer to you all who are asking is to have your own set of metrics, or in other words, have standards, gentlemen. Have your own standards. Know and understand your own standards, and impose those standards to your physical life in order to bring more clarity to your judgments. Not just for other people or circumstances coming into your life, but also as a base for yourself to improve and excel. Very simple. If you don't like something and can't tolerate something, just make it clear to yourself and everyone around you. You gentlemen know what you like and don't like, what satisfy you and what don't satisfy you. You gentlemen know what you can tolerate and can't tolerate from a person, both friend and lover. And you gentlemen certainly know what you want and don't want in your life. Don't say that you don't know because it's bullshit and you're just rejecting or oppressing your own preferences and desires. Embrace them instead. For example, I like my woman to be agreeable and not a pain in the ass to live with. And I don't like my woman advertising herself by twerking her ass off on social media. You know what kind of woman that you like and don't like, and you know what behaviors from her that you can tolerate and can't tolerate. You know what kind of endeavors you like to do and don't like to do, and you know what type of people you enjoy being around with and those whom you don't enjoy being around with. Everyone has their own differences and everyone has their own metrics. So impose them as you live life. Doesn't matter if people ridicule you or make you their enemies, because everyone has enemies. And because even though they hate you, at least they still have some respect or form of caution when they interact with you because you are uncontrollable. Now in today's age at least, as a man, having standards means that you are insecure because you are afraid to compromise your life to not hurt other people's feelings, to fulfill their own agendas and letting them take control of your life, especially when it comes to sexual or romantic interests with the opposite sex. I get that question a lot. Why do you have so much to want from a woman? Are you the controlling type? Are you insecure in your own masculinity? And my answer is simple. I want so much from a woman because I also expect and demand an awful lot from myself. And if I am a man who can excel in leading a woman, I also want a woman who can excel in supporting me. And I am extremely secure in my own masculinity that I would not let anyone, even you, completely take over my life by telling me what I should and should not do. And I am by far from controlling. I'm not tying your arms and legs to a bed in a room with soundproof pads and no windows, am I? You are free to walk away. The door is open. It's an offer to comply, not an ultimatum to obey. Another question they ask is, you think you are so important that you get to have all those standards? And my answer is, my quality of life is certainly very important to me, that I am very careful and selective of whom or what I choose to let into. Thank you very much. Just like the way you are very careful and selective in choosing the number of stiflers that are willing to get under those pants of yours. If you are actually careful, that is. Boundaries induces respect, gentlemen, and we all know respect comes first before everything, whether it is friendships, relationships, or partnerships. To be respectable means that you are perceived as someone of value that can improve other people's quality of life circumstances in a variety of ways. If you are unable to be controlled or tossed around like a garbage bag, you are telling people that you value yourself to a high extent because it is going to take more from them to gain your approval. And that can either make people want you more or hate you more. This is not about insecurities. This is all about self-respect. And another thing about self-respect is to have great integrity of those metrics that you set for yourself and others that comes into your life. Thank you for watching.